Hi, Jason Knott, Chief Content Officer at Commercial Integrator, and today I am talking about business operations and management software with James Foxall, President and CEO at Tigerpaw. Hi, James.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so we just completed our annual software deep dive study, and the numbers were fascinating, but the one thing that really came out of it that is abundantly clear is the benefits of having an end-to-end software solution for an integration company. In fact, according to our data, dealers reported that if by having an end-to-end solution, they saw a 13.4% increase to their bottom line. So I think that's pretty compelling from a numbers standpoint, and it also shows the benefits of the short-term and, of course, the long-term benefits of having that operational software. The key is getting integrators to recognize that and to adopt it. So
that's my problem every day.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Tigerpaw. Why is that an ideal solution for integrators who are still on the fence about whether or not they need to do this?
Absolutely, and I love that 13. What'd you say? 13.3, 13.4?
13.4%.
That's huge, by the way. That would more than cover the cost of my software and leave profit. It's critical. It amazes me to this day how many times that we approach an integrator and they're still using an amalgam of solutions, spreadsheets. Believe it or not, I'll still see people that will use envelopes and they'll color code their envelopes, and a job is literally an envelope, and whoever's got the envelope has got the job. But the reality is, you're dealing with, hammer and chisel in an era of computers, right? I mean, the idea of total integration, when you use something like our product, we tie from the front to back. So from your marketing, managing your sales funnel, doing all of your marketing, generating proposals, nice proposals with images in them, turning them into jobs and turning those jobs into projects and multi-phase project management where you can bill over those phases, managing all of your people and your techs and where they're going and what parts they have on their vehicle, all the inventory procurement to make sure you've got the items that you need for a job when you need them, all the way up to then the billing. Even what we do is automated billing and payment processing. So we can collapse your collections to zero. And then we take all that wonderful GL data and send it to your accounting package. So by bringing all that together, you're getting automation and value in every area of your organization. So every area gets better, but you're also improving those friction points between departments. And that's a lot of times where a lot of the value comes. Because when you start doing process documentation, my son is recently out of college and doing process documentation for a company right now, and he's finding what a nightmare that is, particularly where it crosses departmental boundaries. So when you can create a nice smooth flow and you don't have to follow that folder around for the job, it's amazing. You get efficiencies in areas you weren't even thinking you could get efficiencies.
And to your point, also, when you do that interdepartmental situation, you are reducing double inputting and the human error element that comes with that. And I love your hammer and chisel line. It reminds me of, there was a Star Trek line where Spock described it as stone knives and bear skins. So
that's even better.
Yeah. And to your point, according to the survey, amazing number was that just under 2% of integrators report that they aren't using any type of software in their business. They are still doing written invoices, written proposals. At least the positive side is 98% have recognized that some level of software is value to their business. So
that might even just be email. I mean, I think if we actually looked at how many are really embracing tools for their business, and I'm a member of Entrepreneurs Organization, which is a great global organization for entrepreneurs. And one of the expressions that gets bannered around a lot, and that is people are so busy working in their business, they're not working on their business. And I think that's a lot where this comes in. It takes some time and effort to put a system in place. And so you got to carve that time out. And, it's usually like, oh, I'm way too busy to do that. Well, you're going to be less busy in the future if you do that today. And so that's a symptom that we see a lot with people.
Yeah. So one of the other, I think, impedances for adopting software is integrators are intimidated by what could potentially be the onboarding process.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What does that entail?
And they should be, especially if they've got a partner that hasn't put together a process. When you think about it, there's many steps that go in place from getting from what you're doing today from what you want to do. Because one of the mistakes I see made, and it's typically in the smaller integrators, you got this weird process that you do, and you want to just buy some kind of software tool that will automate your weird process. The real value in going with somebody like Tigerpaw or any of our competitors is we've distilled down industry best practices into the software. So you don't want to just you don't want to just use our software to do what you've been doing. You want to use our software to do what you've been doing better. And so what we've had to do, 37 years we've been doing this now, it's a very long time. We have a proven process. We start in the sales cycle. That's where it really starts, is focusing on the business challenges and the desired outcomes. Because with our product, for example, you can automate so much in your organization, but you're not going to eat the whole elephant at once, to use another metaphor, right? So we're going to help you decide what is the key areas you need to focus on, your biggest pain points, the biggest places you're hemorrhaging money. What do you need to focus on? And then as you become a customer, you actually go through a process. The first thing we do is we assign you to an implementation coordinator. You literally have a human being that is your guide, and they're going to be having regular phone calls with you and providing resources to you. The goal is not to sell shelfware, but to get you using it. And so we've invested that implementation coordinator is going to help you with all the additional resources. So we have an online academy, Tigerpaw Academy. All of your employees have access to it. They can register for classes. They take quizzes and tests to pass them. As a manager, you can assign them. So you can make sure your people are truly getting educated on the tool they need to use. We have Ask the Experts every week, where you can come in. I don't remember the time, but you can come in the same time every week, multiple days a week, and actually get a human being. One of our trainers is on there, and it's included in your fee. There's no cost. So you pop on and ask questions. We've got master classes every month, which are deep dives. We've got live online training that we do periodically. We've got an entire online forum and community, and we have an 800 phone number for support that you can call. Anybody in your company can call for help. And all that is wrapped up with the implementation coordinator, who then is going to hand you off to a customer advocate who becomes your lifelong partner with Tigerpaw. So it's really, we're going to bring you in and take you through a process. We're not going to send you, like in the old days, we'll send you diskettes and say, good luck, right? We're not going to send you diskettes, by the way, it's all download. But the idea is we're going to bring you through this process that has been proven thousands of times to help people like you be successful.
It sounds very comprehensive, and like you said, maybe taking away a little bit of that scare factor, or a lot of that scare factor. All right, I mentioned this 13.4% bottom line result. What have you seen specifically in terms of, are there specific areas where you really see results, like speed of proposals and those sorts of things?
Well, yeah, and that's the challenge, is trying to give you a condensed list, right? I mean, for example, materials management. A 10-person shop that doesn't actually stock inventory, they just use everything just in time, using a software like us might save you $20,000 a year. If you're actually keeping physical stock, we'll track your min-max levels per vehicle, for example. So you make sure you're not running out to a job without the proper parts. And how do what do you quantify that for, right, with one part swap? Technician utilization. We like to get technician billable time up to about 80%. People that usually come from us are about 50%. If you're a 10-person shop with 6 techs, that could be $300,000 a year in extra billable time. From a cash flow perspective, if you want to talk not just to true dollars, but our automated billing and payment processing will collapse your collections time to 0. Right? I'm surprised at how many integrators, when they come to us without a system, they're billing once a month. Which, by the way, if I can tell anybody listening to this, if you're billing once a month, fix that first. You should be billing every day. And if it's too cumbersome to do that, you need something like Tigerpaw, to be honest with you. So if you're billing once a month, the average time to collect is about 75 days. That's a lot of flow to your cash flow. Meanwhile, you're paying your vendors. So if you're billing every day to your clients, if you manage your procurement, so everything is coming in when you need it and you're not overstocking, and then Tigerpaw is actually processing the payment, and that same day where you're not chasing people down, to get payments, and they didn't respond, 75 days you didn't get paid, now you're chasing them. So think about, again, it's hard to quantify the real value there, but it's tremendous if you can collapse your collections time to 0. And it changes how you run your business as an owner when you've got good solid cash flow. There's other savings too. I mean, you talked about the double entry. We've seen people be able, and I'm really hesitant to talk about lost jobs in this climate, right? So I'd rather talk about repurposing. If you've got a good employee that is doing all of this double data entry across systems, think about how you can leverage them in other areas of your business, because all that time it's just doing double entry, which, as you mentioned, is error prone and time consuming. A lot of times you can get $45,000 to $60,000 a year in savings from repurposing that one individual for something like that. So the savings they're massive. If you embrace a system that is going to bring value across your entire organization, and you truly embrace it and put it in, it is going to pay for itself 1,000-fold over time.
Absolutely, in all those different areas. All right, so what does an integrator need to do to reach out to Tigerpaw?
We are easy to find. Tigerpaw.com is probably the simplest way. You can shoot me an email at james@tigerpaw.com. Of course, I'm probably going to thank you very much for reaching out and get you over to somebody who can help you. But either of those ways are good. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter. there's so many different ways people like to communicate. But I would say start with our website, and we can go from there.